Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the film Strange World. Now, as you know, Strange World is a 2022 computer animated science fiction adventure film that was produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Animation Motion Pictures. And keep in mind, since the film was meant to be a box office bomb by Walt Disney Animation Studios and was meant to be a streaming hit on Disney Plus, I do have a theory that the film was meant to kind of be this box office bomb for people to kind of stream the film and not really see it in the theatres. I think the way I kind of see the film Strange World is more about a sort of family film about a group of family coming to terms with their problems and sorting out their sort of own problems beforehand. So the premise of the film is meant to feature in the world of Avalonia, where we kind of see how a young man known as Searcher, who kind of works the normal day life as a farmer, and you can tell he tries to be supportive in Evan's lifestyle, but you can kind of tell he's worried that he might become something like Searcher's father, who's known as Jagger, who is meant to be this big, over-the-top, sort of big-shot explorer who mysteriously disappeared. And we see how, because of Searcher's discovery, we see how, things like planes and other automobiles are able to have a safe, clean, normal energy resource. And we kind of see how, Calypso, who's meant to be voiced by Lucy Liu, who's meant to be the president of Avalonia, finds out that these sort of energy resources are dying, so they venture into the centre of the Earth to find the centre of the problem. And over the course of the film, we kind of see how Searcher comes to terms with his father, who it turns out is in the centre of the Earth, and has become this adventurous kind of big shot. And we see how, because of his actions, he's missed out the important things in his life. And we kind of see how Searcher tries to kind of find reasons with his father, and we kind of see how Searcher kind of comes to terms that he might be making similar mistakes with his son Evan. And I think throughout the film, it's more like a sort of therapy session, where we see how Searcher comes to terms with his dad, and we kind of see how Searcher comes to terms with his own son, not wanting to make the similar mistakes. And we kind of see how Evan tries to play the role in trying to bring the two together to come to terms with their own sort of faults and mistakes. And I think what makes Evan work as a character is that you can kind of tell, despite his character being part of the LGBTQ community, you can tell both Jagger as well as Searcher still play the supporting role in helping him out. I think the difference is Searcher is willing to do it carefully, while Jagger is meant to do it a bit more toxically, but you can kind of tell both of them realise the mistakes in doing it. Because, we do see Searcher coming to terms with his own faults, while Jagger is meant to come slowly to terms with it. And over the course of the film, we do see how a band of misfits come together to kind of find out the energy problem and find out their own faults in sort of coming to terms as a family and fixing their own problems. And I think when you've got Calypso in the film, played by Lucy Liu, you can tell she's not really a villain, because unlike the same character from Princess Mononoke, you can tell she tries to do things for the right reasons, and you can tell she's not really forcibly redeemed, but you can kind of tell she does realise her mistakes way quickly and tries to fix it in the end. And I think when you've got the world in Strange World, it's more like a sort of sci-fi kind of epic adventure film, showing how the characters are meant to come to terms with things, realise the mistakes, and start to kind of come to terms with their own faults and actions. And I think this is the perfect way of coming to terms with things, then forcibly redeeming a character. Because, yeah, we do see how Searcher wants to make sure that Evan doesn't become anything like his own father, but we do see how Searcher comes to terms with his own father and sort of realise both their mistakes. And you can kind of tell Searcher's wife does even still play the supporting role in the family, but still sort of help his husband out in their own sort of style. And I think when you got the World of Strange Worlds, it does work like a typical Strange sort of pulp fiction film, like this sort of genre, like The Journey of the Center of the Earth, The Fantastic Voyage, and other sci-fi sort of genre. It's just mostly a giant sort of therapy session for characters to come to terms with the mistakes and sort of seeing their own faults behind. And I think, unlike Encanto, that was an averagely okay film, this one I think is more like the sort of sci-fi, sort of coming to terms mistakes films that we need. And I think having the sort of characters come from the whole LGBTQ, the black community, the Asian community, and the sort of other communities beforehand to try and fix a mistake shows that, that Don Hell and the sort of screenwriters in that beforehand were trying to show people what they could bring, shows you that Disney didn't really want to sort of see this film get kicked off the ground and sort of see it as a Disney Plus hit. But I think this film definitely feels like the film we should have gotten and did deserve a bit more love. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.